I would like to explain why it's important for scholars that are archaeologists to study Latin as well as Greek and not just one or the other. There is an inscription that was found in the mountain of Megiddo, which is the same as the biblical Armageddon. And this mountain had a church. And when it was uncovered, one of the inscriptions on the floor read, and I will translate first, Acceptus, also known as Philotheos. He offered this table to the God Jesus Christ as a memorial. Now, this inscription, for one, shows that the early church definitely in the 2nd and 3rd century AD believed that Jesus was God. That is where all the articles are pointing, like, oh wow, look there, they said Jesus was God. Well, I'll tell you one thing, and that's that in the Apostle Paul's epistles, he actually says the same thing, that Jesus was God, and there's other places in the early church writings that say Jesus is God. So I don't think that's the most important part of this inscription. I think what's so interesting is that whoever the scholar was, a doctor, I guess I maybe am pronouncing his name wrong, Singh, something like that, the person that translated this inscription for the archaeological site in Israel, he was under the impression that proseniken Acceptus e Philotheos, that this e had to be the article that's feminine, and so he translated this that Acceptus, a female with the name Philotheos, donated this table to the God Jesus Christ, and that was as a memorial. Now, why is this so important to try to say that scholars need to study Latin? Why am I advocating that, oh, this would have been an easy fix if a scholar just knew Latin? Well, here's the thing. The scholar was very smart. He saw the ita, and the ita in Greek has a lot of different things that it could be. Itas can mean the female article. It can mean or. It can mean than, as in greater than. It could be a lot of different things depending on the situation. Now, in this case, if there is a female, let's say she's named Accepta, and you said this female named Accepta e Philotheos, you could have a female Accepta with the name Philotheos, and it could have this os ending, as the adjective in Greek is only 2 terminals, meaning that we have the same os ending for masculine and feminine if it's an adjective. Now, there is also a feminine name that ends with the ita, so it'd be Philothei. Okay, Philothei is going to be a female form of it. But if we just had to do with this, this line here, e Philotheos, you could say this could be speaking of a female. Now, the thing is Acceptus, if you have absolutely no clue what Acceptus is, and you think this could be a masculine name, it could be a feminine name, this could be Aramaic, this could be gibberish, this could be, Klingon or something, somebody with the name Acceptus, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl, and then, you could translate it, well, I guess Acceptus is a girl. If you don't know anything better, you could just say, well, this has to mean that she's a girl. Now, the problem here is that Acceptus is Latin. And so if you know Latin, you can zero out the possibility and probability that anybody named Acceptus is a female. Acceptus is coming from the Latin word acceptus. We get the word accept from it, okay? From accepio. Accept. Acceptus. This is the Latin word masculine singular. A feminine form would be Accepta. This is 3 terminals in Latin. Acceptus, Accepta, Accepta. And basically, we know from this word Acceptus that he was a boy. So the problem is, okay, if we have this translation of Acceptus being a boy, is it then Acceptus Miss Philotheos? And is she a female in this line and a masculine person in the other line? Is this some kind of transgender nonsense? Let's do some explaining. So Acceptus is a boy, and so we got option 1. Option 1 would be that Acceptus is a boy and Philotheos is the she Philotheos, which is little Miss Philotheos, and it would be a boy name with Miss Philotheos and this would be like this jumble of nonsense. Okay, that's option 1. Option 2 is a little bit clearer. Option 2 is that the eta could just be the word or, and so this could have been speaking of the baptismal name, that his name was Acceptus, and this was the Roman name, the Latin name Acceptus, and then since it's an inscription, it could have said, okay, this is my name Acceptus, but also, or, this conjunction or is the eta Philotheos, okay? And that would be why his name is duplicated. So let's go back from the start. If it says prosenican Acceptus, masculine singular Acceptus, e being the or conjunction, Acceptus or, also known as Philotheos, teen trapezon, and then, okay, gave this table to our God Jesus Christ as a memorial. That would actually make sense, and it would make sure that Acceptus is still a boy, and that his baptismal name, Philotheos, he's still a boy. He's not, getting feminized by anything. He's a boy, and he's got 2 names. One is his baptismal name, and one was his given name, and that is what happened. So, why did this mistake happen? It happened because somebody thought Acceptus was gibberish and didn't realize this is a masculine name. This could have been easily solved if the professor out there knew that Acceptus was a masculine name. Why did he not know it was a masculine name? Because he definitely didn't recognize this was Latin. Why did he think this could have been a feminine name? Because if you think that that is gibberish and if Acceptus could be a feminine name, then for all reason this could have been a girl. Why is it so important that he studies Latin? Because if he studied Latin, this would have never happened. He would have realized that this was a masculine name and that this eta was not the feminine eta, but this is the word or, and it means that he is a boy. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you had a great time learning that scholars need to not only study Greek, but Latin as well, and especially for these inscriptions. I sent an email to the archaeological site and got a reply that I sent it to the wrong place. So I'm trying to contact whoever's actually in charge of this dig right now in Megiddo, maybe be able to have some kind of correction, and hopefully be able to fix anything. If there's, say, a sign, say you visit Megiddo and there's a sign and it translates, oh, this is your translation, and goes into all this elaborate detail about this female named Acceptus, I'd like that to be taken down, and I'm trying to find the right people and do the right thing to notify the people of this mistake so that it's not an embarrassment any longer. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time in Proximum.